No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And over the years, we've had a bunch of different women on the podcast who at various times I've read comments basically saying this girl's just trying to be like Cat Stacks. And it appears that today we finally have the original, the OG Cat Stacks in the building. How you doing?
Hi, thank you.
How do you feel about the fact that your name holds such weight in that regard, that there's so many people that kind of look back in awe of that era that you put your stamp on in internet hip-hop history?
I guess it feels good to be kind of remembered after you die.
Right. What, you feel like you died?
No, so when you die,
Right.
people still kind of remember me.
Still, do you get recognized like all the time? Is everybody still kind of...
Yeah,
I mean, that made a big impression on a lot of people.
yeah,
I noticed you came in here with a bodyguard today.
yeah.
Do you move around like that consistently?
When I have to do something professional, yeah.
Right. Okay, let's go all the way back in time. So, where were you born?
Venezuela,
Okay. And you lived there until what age?
till I was 9,
Okay. And then you moved where?
to Miami.
Okay. And, well, do you have much memories of Venezuela? Does that make much of an impression on you?
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, it's not as bad as it is now. Back then it was okay. And now the government and the citizens are at war with each other.
Right. Do you remember why your parents wanted to leave or what the plan was there?
For a better life.
Okay. And so you grew up in Miami until what age?
8 till 14?
Okay. And how was that? What was your upbringing like there?
It was okay. Just with an immigrant family trying to make it by.
Okay. And when you left Miami, where'd you go?
New York.
All right. And I don't know. Tell us a little bit about this whole time period in your life. I guarantee it wasn't as smooth as you're kind of letting on here. I know there was a whole lot of shit going on.
Like, what would you like to know?
Just was there anything hectic happening in your life around these times, or was everything like smooth sailing? You're telling me you had a completely normal childhood up until we found out about you?
No, I didn't have a nice childhood, but I guess everybody already knows. Like, you know, I grew up with a pimp, and I got locked up for it, and they tried to deport me for it, and then they decided to let me stay in the country because I was underage when I got all those charges.
So you got a pimp at what age?
14?
Oh boy. And so, okay, what were you doing in your life that would even sort of lead you into this situation at that time?
I didn't know what a pimp was, so I was groomed
Okay.
and taken away from my comfort zone from Miami to New York.
So he was the reason why you ended up leaving?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you meet this guy? And just keep in mind that a lot of these people who are watching this probably don't remember all the shit from back in the day. So it's, you're not like reiterating too much to them. They probably, many of them don't remember.
He was a cross-country pimp. For those who don't know what that is them pimps that go from state to state looking for new girls to work for them.
Really?
So he came from New York to look for girls in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of the girls walking around in the neighborhood.
You were just walking around?
Mm-hmm.
And how'd this guy solicit you?
He just came up to me and started talking to me. I don't remember what he said.
Okay.
He was very attractive. Someone that I didn't think was on my level back then.
Mm.
And that's how he got me, and he's my baby daddy.
Wow. Was your life relatively trauma-free prior to this guy entering the picture? Was there bad stuff going on at home, or?
Yeah, but not as bad as like being with a pimp or being in the streets.
Right. So how'd this guy convince you to roll with him?
I guess he got in my head.
Right.
You know, he just put a lot of time and effort. You know, to me to leave with him.
Right. So how long did it take before you sort of realized what his line of work was?
Well, we talked for 6 months, and he used to come over my house and met my mom and everyone.
Wow, really? And they all thought that this was just a good guy, that your boyfriend or something, basically?
They didn't like him, but they didn't tell me he couldn't come.
Right.
That was it. My curfew was always 10 o'clock, so he always left at 10.
And he had a bunch of other girls that were already with him at this time?
No, I didn't know about them.
So you didn't know about any of that, even though it was going on?
Yeah. I found out later.
Doesn't it seem kind of bizarre that for him to just pick out this random girl who's walking down the street, and that just becomes this like hobby for him, that he's going to spend months and months trying to coerce you into working for him?
I'm sure he did it to other girls.
Right.
If you're really like into the lifestyle, that's what they do.
That's what they do. They just find a girl and just sort of...
They just see a money sign.
Damn. So you did it feel like you had a normal relationship with him for a period of time, and then it turned into this pimp relationship? Like, you didn't know that that's what you were signing up for?
Yeah, I didn't know that's what I signed up for.
Right.
So it was okay for like 6 months until I ran away with him.
Right. So when you went to New York, that's when it got fucked up?
Yeah.
And so where do you go in New York, and what starts happening there?
No, well, actually, it started in Florida still. He took me 3 hours away from Miami to Cocoa Beach first.
Okay.
And that's when it started.
And he told you to what, just go walk the street?
No, he told me that, because he took me to a hotel. And he told me that we need money to survive, to pay for the room, for food and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And that he knew a way how to make money. And then he told me about I could make money having sex with customers and stuff. And he had bought condoms. And I wasn't with it after the whole speech. And then he stumped me out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like bad? Was that the first time he ever hit you?
No, it wasn't the first time he hit me, but it was the first time that was, I guess, traumatic to me.
Uh-huh.
It was weird. Like, he had put hot water on the towel and started beating me with the towel with hot water and stopped me and just doing weird shit.
Oh, wow. And so you basically went and started selling yourself because that was the only way that he was going to calm down, or?
No, I was robbing people.
At that time?
Yeah, I'll pretend, be like, oh, hey, it's this price to come be with me. And then I'd be like, oh, I'll be right back after they give me the money, and I'll leave.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't start actually doing it till he took me to New York.
Okay.
Then I got turned up.
So in New York, like what areas would he have you doing this in, or like how did it work?
In the street,
You
on
just
the track.
walk around and just sort of wait till something happens?
He'll like put you by like bus stops and stuff and be like, someone looks at you, keep staring at them, and then, go up to the car and give them the price.
Mm-hmm.
Get in.
So how did you feel about this as a young kid? I mean, you're like, what, 14, 15, 16 at this age? Like, how did you feel about it? And did you feel like were you plotting on how you could get out of this situation, or did you think that this was normal at that time?
At that time, I took him in as like my only family. I don't know. He was just my everything.
Right.
So I guess I accepted the lifestyle after.
Right. Would you have been able to go home to your parents?
Maybe now, yeah. But I think back then maybe I was scared.
Right.
I don't know what I felt back then. I don't remember.
Do you run into all kinds of fucked up situations out there doing this? I'm assuming that probably happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like, what was the worst of them?
It's too many.
Too many. What, just guys beating you and doing all kinds of crazy shit, or what?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
Fair enough. How long were you doing that for in New York?
He went back and forth from New York to Miami.
Okay. And bringing you with the whole time?
Yeah. So maybe I stopped working for him when I was 19.
Okay. And he let you go, or did you have to break free at some point?
No, I got pregnant and I got locked up.
Okay.
So he like abandoned me.
You got pregnant with him? Mm-hmm. So you had something approaching a relationship going with him even throughout all this? Did you feel like you were his girlfriend?
Well, I was the one who shared the bed with him.
Right.
Everybody else he kept in hotels and stuff.
How many other girls would he have at any given time?
The ones I would know about, maybe like 2 or 3 at a time. But he'll hide them because I was very jealous.
Okay. Okay, so when you're 19, he gets you pregnant, and did you consider getting rid of it, or?
Yeah, but I got locked up, and back then in 2009, if I didn't keep the baby, I would have been deported. So immigration released me for being pregnant.
Wow. So you would have had to go back in if you got an abortion.
Yeah.
Damn.
And they checked up every month with the doctors to make sure I was still pregnant.
Wow. So you actually, what did you get arrested for though? For prostitution stuff?
No, I did an escort call and I had a gun.
Oh, and
So
it
it
was
was undercover.
It was a setup. It was
Yeah.
undercover. Oh wow. So they searched you and found the gun. You had a gun on you the whole time.
Yeah, always.
Wow. You never had to use it.
Yeah.
You tried to shoot someone.
No.
Come on. It's been a million years. You can tell me.
No.
If you didn't kill him, you can tell me, right?
No.
Okay. So you get out of prison because you're pregnant, and then what happens from there? Like, who are you staying with, and what is your life like at this point?
You gotta be released by your family, and they have to sign for you,
Okay.
and they put you on an ankle bracelet. So I was released to my mother. She picked me up, and I was put in an ankle bracelet, and then my baby daddy left me. He abandoned me and just went to New York.
And you couldn't even follow him if you wanted to? Right. So, okay, you have the baby. And what's life like at this point?
Well, back then, my mother, my grandmother, and everybody was helping me. So I was just very depressed because I couldn't go out and work or do anything or be with him. So my family was just helping me, just supporting me through it.
Did they know what you had been doing in New York?
Yeah.
And did they know the whole time, or did they just find out after you got out of prison this time?
Nah, they knew. They had me on the missing children stuff, and they looked for me for like 5 years and they didn't find me.
Your family?
Yeah.
And you didn't even talk to them at all throughout all this? No. Was that because he was telling you that you absolutely couldn't talk?
I couldn't.
Yeah. Wow. So, and then you finally go back to your family. Like, did it feel like things were okay in the sense that you could just, like, they just accepted you back into their lives, or what was that like once you got back to being around your family?
They always wanted me back.
Definitely. So, okay, you have this baby, and then, like, I don't know, do you end up getting a job, or like what is your life like out there?
No, then I met Jenna Shea, who you interviewed.
Ah, yes, Jenna Shea. Okay.
And started all the BS.
How did you meet her?
My best friend was friends with her,
Okay.
and she introduced me to her. And
In what way? How'd she introduce you to her? Like, this is Jenna, she's blank.
she had a picture of her in her house. And I was like, who's this? She's like, oh, this is Jenna. And I don't know. She just introduced me to her, I think online or something, or maybe on the phone. And then me and her became friends.
Okay. And what was Jenna doing? Did she have any kind of like notoriety or fame at that point, or?
No, she was just a pretty model with a lot of followers and a lot of connections.
Yeah, because what year are we maybe talking when you would have met her?
2008.
Yeah, because I feel like I came to know Jenna Shea when she was sort of like fake dating Soulja Boy around like 2010, maybe 2011.
Yeah, way before that.
Okay, so this is a few years before that. And you guys just hit it off and became friends or whatever?
Yeah.
And at that point, were you thinking about like wanting to be known in this world, or like what was your aspirations for a life around that time?
It was kind of like an accident. Every time she was beefing with someone online, she'd like tell me to curse them out. And that's how it started.
Really? Like who was she beefing with at that time that you ended up kind of getting involved in it?
Like, she used to beef with a lot of porn stars. And then she'll like tell me to curse them out and stuff. And I'll do it, and it was just mixy.
And it turned out that you were kind of like more viral when you yelled at somebody on the internet than she was?
No, I didn't yell. I was just like Twitter fingers.
Right.
And I had an ankle bracelet, so I had nothing to do. I was just at home. I couldn't work, couldn't do nothing. And it was because of her that I got followers and all that stuff.
Right.
And I was just bored at home with an ankle bracelet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, yeah, was there any notable beefs at that time in the porno world, I guess, that in terms of people you're going against, or when did it start to become like rappers that you were beefing with? Because that's when I feel like it really got big.
I just started getting followers because of her. Like rappers and stuff. And people were just following me and meeting up with me and stuff.
Right.
Back then.
Okay. And had you thought about doing porn at that time?
No.
So Jen is like beefing with all these porn people, but you're not really like in that world necessarily?
Yeah, and then she was hiding the fact that she was an escort back then.
Oh.
Yeah.
Allegedly. So that was her thing at the time?
Yeah.
And she was hiding it? She wouldn't tell you about it?
No, like the porn stars will expose her ads.
Oh.
And she'll say that it's fake and tell me to curse them out and stuff.
Oh, okay. So why do you believe it's real now?
Because now she claims it.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. Okay, so when did you really start getting known online, though? Because from my perspective, it was when you exposed Soulja Boy. That's when I first became like, oh, there's this Cat Stacks girl, and she does this to rappers.
Now just publicity stunts.
That was a publicity stunt.
Jenna was dating Q from Worldstarr on the low.
Okay.
And she introduced me to him. And that's when we started doing the videos and all the fake entertainment stuff.
So there's a lot of people, myself included, who don't really buy it when you say that all this stuff was fake. Like, why would Soulja Boy consent to a video being made where a girl was exposing him for being a cokehead? Especially at that time. It's like, why would, like, Soulja Boy didn't want people to know that if that was true at the time, you know? But now you're saying it was fake.
Yeah, it was crushed up Advil pills.
Right. I mean, I probably snorted crushed up Advil pills at one point in my life too. But I mean, like, I watched this old like Hot 97 interview with you where you're saying that all those videos were fake and stuff. I mean, it feels like you were saying that because of basically your legal situation at that time was what I thought. Was like that you were basically just lying and saying that all the videos were fake because you were trying to make it seem like you weren't as out of control as you were.
No, I used to get paid for each video.
And like Soulja Boy just agreed to this?
No, he just wanted to hang out. He was dating Jenna first.
Oh, so Q would pay you to do these kind of videos, but Soulja Boy wasn't in on it?
No, Soulja Boy was dating Jenna.
Okay.
And then Jenna introduced me to Soulja Boy.
Uh-huh.
And the video was made and Q posted it.
But did you tell Soulja Boy, like, yo, I'm going to expose this coke in your room and make it look like you're doing all this crazy shit? And then he was like, okay? Or was it like Q kind of requested, like, put it out there, like, if you get any crazy footage like this, we'll pay you for it?
Soulja Boy didn't care that I was, like, recording and doing stuff in the room.
He didn't care, but he wasn't, like, specifically on board with it?
I wouldn't know how to answer that.
It just feels like Soulja Boy at that time probably didn't want people to think he was a cokehead. Which I'm sure he probably still doesn't want people to think he's. I don't know what he's doing now, but at that time, you know, especially, I feel like rappers doing coke is like still a big deal. Like people still get really bent out of shape over that kind of thing.
Well, he didn't care because he still talks to me afterwards. On the low.
Really?
And with Jenna too.
Interesting.
Like, I don't know. He didn't care.
You remember when Brian Pumper put out that video saying that he wanted to be your first porn?
No, but I remember his name.
You don't remember Brian Pumper?
No, I said I remember his name. I just remember what he said.
Just the name, but you don't remember the look? I made
Yeah.
this whole video about him. You should totally check it out.
I just remember he did something with a girl that had the chocolate chip booty or whatever they used to make fun of.
Lawrence Fishburne's daughter.
Okay. I remember that.
And they called her Chippy. And she did have like little moles all over her ass that did kind of look like chocolate chips. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
That's a tough thing to live with. Because what are you going to do? You're going to get 17 moles removed from your ass? No, you're going to rock that shit for life. Even the ugliest girl's got a nice booty. I mean, maybe not, but like, you know, at least they have a booty. Okay, back on track. Okay, so who was the first rapper that you started to like date in the game?
Powell.
Bow Wow. How'd you get in touch with him?
He followed me on Twitter. I guess because of Jenna.
Uh-huh.
And he lived 2 minutes away from me.
Right. And you were like, I'm coming through.
He said to come, gave me his address.
Uh-huh.
And just went there.
What was fucking with like an actual celebrity rapper like in that situation, as opposed to like, you know, I don't know what other kind of guys you would have been dating, but you're dating this pimp and he's out and he's driving around neighborhoods in Miami and picking up 14-year-old girls and turning them into hookers. I'm just assuming that Bow Wow's probably living a very different lifestyle. Did that occur to you? Did it seem like you were kind of, I'm in this different lane. I'm dealing with actual people with money.
It made me feel beautiful.
How often do you like keep hanging out with them, or is that kind of just like a
Maybe like twice a month.
Twice a month? Okay.
But then I started being clingy.
And he wasn't into that. I hear it. So, but how did the videos thing really like unfold? Like, did you just sort of start to like realize like was it really like Q telling you like this is the way that you could blow up? Like, was this like an act of management for him to be telling you that he wanted you to make these videos of all these rappers?
No, it was Jenna.
Jenna was kind of behind it too.
When Jenna used to have me curse out people or whatever. Wait, can you repeat the question again?
I'm saying like with those videos, was that kind of like a thing where Q was helping you to build your career by saying, you know, obviously he has a selfish interest as well because Worldstarr is getting content, but was that kind of like his idea, like, oh, do these things to these rappers and that's going to build you up?
It was Jenna's idea first because I used to get drunk and curse people out for her.
Right.
So she had me make the first video and she sent it to Q. And then I guess that video blew up, the first video, and he'll tell me to keep making more.
Okay.
And he'll send money. But then sometimes he'll be like, oh, you're not going too hard. Say this, do that. And then I'll send it. He'll be like, no, it's still not hard enough.
Wow.
And then I have to do it.
That's crazy. So you would just redo it though. Like, who else did you do videos of at that time? Because I'm sure I'm going to remember it as soon as you say it. But who else got caught in the crossfire of all this in terms of like building your name up as somebody who's exposing everyone?
Well, actually, Jenna brought me out here the first time to California. And I was hanging out with his friends. And I don't know, she was the one introducing me to everyone, and everyone was mostly with it. Everybody wanted promo. They had something coming up, and back then the publicity stunt would put them like on the front page of the media.
Right.
So it was just that, and it was different from, I had ankle bracelets, so I couldn't work at the strip club or do nothing. So it was like different type of money. You know, I just make $500 just for doing a stupid video. And I don't know, I just kept going along.
Right. So you weren't like actually having sex for money with people at this time?
No.
Because I saw that there was a video where you were accusing Jim Jones of paying $800 to fuck you.
Nah, that never happened. Never met him.
You didn't say that, or you said it?
No, I said it, but it was false.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why were you beefing with him, or why would you make that up?
Jenna gave me his number and told me what to say, and Q posted it.
Really?
And I got paid for it.
It sounds like you're kind of like almost putting Jenna and Q in the like almost on par with like the pimp, in the sense that they sort of like saw you as being a young person with potential and sort of exploited it in some sense. Do you feel like that's true?
I feel like Jenna was dogged out by all these people, and she used me as revenge.
Wow. That's a compelling narrative.
Yeah.
You were like her young shooter that she could just send out into the field to go catch some bodies for her, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get caught. She's kind of
She
nothing to do with
hated
me.
everyone, and I guess, and Q hated all the rappers too, because I guess he used to be on the tour bus with 50 Cent and them, and they treated him like shit. Then his baby mama had him sleeping in the car. So he hated everyone, and Jenna was just dogged out. So I guess they thought it was funny what I was doing to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
But didn't your relationship with Q go a lot deeper? Because at one point you got his face tattooed on you and shit.
Because it was the only person to help me not get deported.
Okay. So when did that become a thing that they were trying to deport you?
They were trying to deport me because I had the gun charge. You get deported if you have a felony.
But didn't it become a bigger thing because of the fact that you gained this level of fame and whatnot?
Yeah, the prosecutor brought it up in court. And you could be deported for your, what's that called? Your moral status or whatever.
Right.
If you're not a good citizen.
But were you, they said that you were like promoting prostitution with your video content, but how was your video content really promoting prostitution?
Stuff like Jim Jones, what you mentioned.
Right.
Just stupid stuff like that. They made me go to court. Yeah, for like what? For like almost 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's all fake.
And that was kind of at the height of your popularity.
Yeah, they ruined it.
And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're going to keep you locked up in this shitty legal thing where if you do anything, it's going to look bad for your case, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. At any point in all that, do you feel like you really started to take your career seriously and were trying to like really build up your, like, were you ever making good money at any point during all this? You sort of got like this crazy level of fame, but did you ever feel like you were financially successful?
I think I was making amazing money. I was getting booked at least 6 times a week to host parties for
Really?
$2,500.
Wow.
So I think I was doing great. Plus, Q's what's it called, monthly allowance for the stuff I was doing. So I think it was great. Like I remember Jenna saying, "Oh, you make 7 bands a week and stuff."
But was she taking a percentage of it? Was anybody?
She just liked the attention. She just loved. Back then, she didn't really think about the money. She just thought about her name being out there and just being popular.
So you're saying that when I became, like, I remember Jenna Schaefer dating Soulja Boy back in the day, 2010-ish. You're saying that he basically burnt her in that whole situation, so then she had you do that video where you framed him as a cokehead and whatnot, and that was all basically like revenge for him just not being cool to her at a certain point.
She was mad at him about something about not getting her a bag. Something about a Louis bag, I remember back then she told me about. And just doing weird stuff, I don't know.
Wow. What rappers have ever bought you designer handbags?
No one, but people associated to them have.
Like who?
No, like just people that run around with them, not anyone known.
Why? The people running around with them aren't supposed to have money.
Because they want what they have. So they see me and they think the only way to be with me is to trick.
That's pretty sad, though. I'm not going to lie. If you are part of a rapper's entourage and you see a rapper getting pussy for free and you decide that you want to invest in designer handbags in exchange for the same pussy the rapper just got for free, wow, that is a dark portrait you just painted there. Damn. Do you ever actually like date any of these rappers really at a certain point, though? Did any of it ever get serious?
No.
Never. You were never romantic with Q?
No.
It never was anything relationship-wise?
Q had a bunch of girls. I guess he loved everyone.
Okay.
So he treated everyone the same, bought everyone the same gifts, did the same bullshit to everyone. So no one was ever special.
Interesting. So you never, you feel like they've really kind of stalled out your career and everything for those 3 years because you basically weren't able to make any videos, or were you able to like host parties and do the other stuff that you were doing for money, or?
I don't think it ruined me because when I got out, everybody was contacting me for like shows or doing stuff, and Q wouldn't let me work.
Really?
He said that I need to take time out and be with my family, and didn't let me do nothing. I was just getting a deposit every month. And then I got tired of him.
And so you broke it off?
Twice. And then he was paying for the house I was in with my mom, and he took that away. He took my mom's car away and did all that stuff while he was alive.
Wow.
And then tried to ruin every type of career stuff I ever tried to do.
Really?
Before he died, yeah.
Well, like what other kind of stuff were you trying to do at that time that didn't work out?
Well, Wendy Williams wanted to do a show, like invest in a show of me, and he didn't let that happen. Vice wanted to do a documentary. He didn't let that happen, and he just did a bunch of stuff. And I used to get lawyer letters like every week from him, just doing dumb shit. And then when I try to fight back, I don't have as much money as him, so I can't keep writing $500 letters.
Right.
He was just very annoying.
Damn. What was his motivation in doing that?
I guess he felt that I didn't appreciate him. How he helped me not get deported out the country. And I just ran my mouth and acted like a little girl.
Right. Damn. And then he passed relatively soon after all this?
3 years later.
And so had that kind of thing been consistent throughout that latter part of his life, or did he sort of let up on you at some point?
Nah, he was consistent.
Damn. How'd you feel when he passed?
I was very sad. I cried.
Really? Even though you felt victimized by him at the time?
I sort of started to get over it when I wasn't invited to the funeral.
Really?
So then I had to learn to like let go.
Yeah. Damn. I mean, you must have had mixed emotions though, because it's like he had been the root of a lot of good things and a lot of bad things in your life.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was cut off from the funeral. His baby mama reported my Instagram page.
And got it taken down?
Yeah, but then they put it back up. Cause she tried to say, I don't know what she did, but she got a lawyer. Cause I was saying rest in peace, and I was posting pictures of us. So every picture that was with him was reported, cause she sent the lawyer. And anyways, I spoke to Instagram, and they said that I could post whatever I want if I'm in the picture. I just can't post Q by himself.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you ever have your Instagram deleted though?
Like 20 times.
Really? That's got to be rough too. That it feels like you've had a lot of challenges in sort of building up that platform.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you were like just way ahead of your time in a lot of ways?
No, I always think what's meant to be is always meant to be.
Right. It just feels like there's a shitload of girls who basically have, I mean, I guess I wouldn't say similar stories to you, since your story is pretty extreme in many ways, but there's just a lot of girls out there who basically nowadays date a rapper, get kind of famous from dating the rapper, then they make a YouTube video about dating the rapper, then they have OnlyFans, and then they have an Instagram, and all of a sudden, boom, they're fucking making all this money on OnlyFans because they fucking dated Lil Baby for 2 weeks or some shit. It feels like that would have, like now, I think that you as a young person would have been looking at the world and like it would maybe make more sense to you of like like a way that you could, you were early. It's like you didn't even have like the opportunity to make a YouTube video and go viral and make money off the YouTube video. No, it had to be like through Worldstarr at that time. You had to get paid by somebody rather than just putting it on YouTube and sort of building up your own platform from being you on the internet.
Correct.
And that way, I think you were kind of ahead of your time.
Yeah.
When you look at somebody like Celina Powell, how do you feel about the racket that she's running?
I think it's okay.
Clearly very influenced by you.
I think it's okay.
Right. You have had some harsh words for her, though, at times.
She pisses me off when she starts messing with people who are not rappers, like regular scammers who I used to mess with, and she does it on purpose.
Really?
And sometimes I want to punch her, but I can't because she's a cop caller.
She actually said that. She said she texted me and said that she went to the nail salon and Bad Baby was there. She said, if this bitch swings on me, I'm calling the cops. I'm like, don't be a snitch. She goes, no, I'm a cop caller. I was like, damn, that's actually, that was weird. I was thinking like, if you fought Bad Baby, I mean, obviously it's bad for you to fight, but you wouldn't be beating up a child anymore, technically, which is different. Now she's 18. She could throw hands legally, technically, kind of, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's probably a lot of girls though that like, how do you feel when people say that? When people say, Like Cat Stacks was the originator, the OG of sort of getting famous in this way.
I guess I'm flattered by it, and I like when people know their place, I guess.
Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of like respect for your elders in the hoe game, huh? People just kind of forget who was early on doing some of these things, or it's easy for people to forget.
Well, I respect Superhead, but she don't respect me because she blocks me.
She blocks you on
Yeah.
all your Instagram accounts?
When she used to be online.
Right.
I used to be like, hey, I bought your book when I was a stripper, and she'll block me.
Yeah, Superhead, I remember reading her book in Barnes & Noble, so I didn't have to buy it in probably 2003.
Yeah.
Because I had read online that she talked about sucking Jay-Z's dick, and I had read the part of the book and it just sounded crazy, and I was like, I gotta read the rest of that book. I need to know what these rappers are actually like. Which I guess that's kind of like what you bring to the table in a lot of ways. People feel like someone like you or Celina is gonna give them a peek behind the curtain of like, oh, this is what this guy's actually like. He acts like a fucking super thug on stage or in a song, but actually he just wants his asshole licked like everybody else. That's a new part of the game though, right?
I don't know, like, the blogs accepted. They made Celina famous. They got her paid, so that's their fault.
I meant the ass eating part. Every guy wants their ass
I
eaten
don't know.
now. You don't know about that? No. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's like there's a bunch of stuff that when I look back at your career, like going through Worldstarr, when I search Cat Stacks, there's a bunch of stuff that now I look at it and I'm like, wow, like people really had a certain kind of perspective on that. Like, for instance, there's like at least one video of you sort of being like, beaten by a guy, and nobody seems to think that this is all that bad. And it was sort of like posted, like when you look at the title and stuff, it's like, it's not being presented as if this is just a woman being beat. It's like, it's kind of like, oh, this is funny, or she deserves it.
Which video?
I can't remember exactly, but there were a couple different videos that came out. I remember there was one where you were freaking out on Joel Santana for laughing about it.
No, I made the video of me getting hit by the guy.
Oh, right. I don't know. There was one where he's sort of like chasing you around a car or a van that I saw.
Oh, Mazzy, rest in peace.
He died.
Yeah.
Who was that guy again? He was somebody's artist?
He was just a wannabe rapper from Atlanta who wanted to be a blood, and now he's dead.
How did he get killed?
I think they shot him like 19 times.
You don't seem like you lost any love for that one, huh? It doesn't bother you?
No.
No.
I was invited to the funeral though.
Really?
I was with his kids and all his baby mamas and stuff.
Oh, jeez.
And I just paid respect, and that was it.
Right. What was up with that fight situation though, like in the video?
He was. I was just running my mouth. I used to live with him.
Okay.
But he was Muslim, so in his religion, he could have different women.
Uh-huh.
So he kept them in different apartments.
You seem like you often end up in these sort of relationships, huh?
No, but he wasn't a pimp. He was nowhere near a pimp. He wasn't into. He always said that he got kids, so he would never sell a woman.
Uh-huh.
But I was just always jealous, and one day I ran my mouth and I ran away from the apartment, and he found me at the studio in the video.
Uh-huh.
And he just ran up and tried to scare me. But if you watch at the end of the video, I got in the truck with him, so that's all he wanted, for me to come back home.
Oh, so you sort of like gave in there.
Yeah, we were dating.
Do you feel like you as a result of your childhood trauma, do you feel like you like are often drawn towards men who really treat you like shit?
I think men just want to be with a woman that's not gonna leave them when they when that brain cell starts ticking or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Wait, how do I explain it better? Just someone that I don't know how to explain it.
They want to be with you seem like you think that men want to be with a girl who's going to be down for whatever, including them beating the shit out of the woman and whatnot.
No, just someone that's not gonna leave them when.
The going gets rough, or when they end up beating them and forcing them to prostitute themselves.
No, not nothing like that. I don't know. Men are just. I don't know. I don't know how to answer the question. I don't know if I've been drinking or I'm not answering right.
Let me ask you this. It seems like with alcohol, there was a lot of videos back in the day. It seemed like you were drunk, and even you like explained later, like, why did you do this? I was drunk. And then when I look at your Instagram, it still shows you drinking a good amount. What's your relationship like with alcohol? Or maybe Hennessy specifically?
I don't know. It, what's that word? Immunes you?
Gives you immunity against sort of the world around you? Or
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It helps you cope?
No, it just, I don't know. It makes me feel normal. But then I go overboard sometimes.
Yeah. Do you drink every day?
Almost.
Just by yourself for the most part, or?
If I'm by myself, yeah, or with people.
Yeah, like what is your lifestyle like these days? Like, are you just out in public a lot? I feel like you carry around this sort of weight of how well known you are everywhere you go, and it doesn't seem like you. Do you feel comfortable just sort of going out and doing normal stuff, or?
No.
So you kind of prefer to stay to yourself?
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you do to earn money these days?
I just make money from promo online or like OnlyFans or like, well, I haven't really been in the industry for like 3 years. Because I was dating someone and didn't like that type of stuff.
Who are you dating?
Some stupid dyke.
You got a lesbian relationship going?
Yeah, I did.
How was that?
We just broke up.
Did you feel happier, you think, being with a woman?
No, she was just younger, and I thought she was innocent, but she wasn't.
So you were the big boss man of this relationship?
I wouldn't call it big boss man. It was just different, and it didn't work out. Women is just as bad as men.
You thought she was innocent, but she wasn't?
Yeah, because she was 23.
Okay.
And, she was still living at home with her mom and still riding the bus and doing little kid stuff. But
then she went and did a bunch of fuck shit?
Yeah, like she'll go to strip clubs, she'll cheat and do a bunch of grown-ass men stuff. And then I'm like, oh, hold up. But yeah.
But do you feel old? Like, you've just been in the game for a long time. You've seen everything. You just don't seem like you're going to be impressed by, going to the club.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought she was different. I guess I just wanted a break from life. And I took it, and now I'm back.
Definitely. How's OnlyFans going?
I could do better, but
we got to get the word out there more, for sure. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this that are probably looking to have a wank to the Cat Stacks OnlyFans.
Oh.
You got to do a real porno. Just if you know. If you're interested, let me know.
I was doing it with her, but a lot of people don't want to watch girls with fake dicks.
Yeah, that is weird.
They get mad. They be like, oh, I pay for this shit. And
No, yeah. When I see that, when I'm watching a video and it's just two girls, I'm like, bro, this is unnatural. It's Adam and Eve, not Cassandra and Eve.
I agree.
It's just not enough happening for me, Like, I just think I need to see some fireworks. It's like,
yeah.
Like, what's the most interesting part in any movie? When someone pulls a gun out.
They shoot.
And in a porno, a dick is kind of like the closest thing you have to a gun. I don't think you can really have a real gun in a porno. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I just see that there could be like some distance between you and a 23-year-old in the sense that you're kind of jaded, and then these are young people. They still want to party and go crazy and everything. That's why, like, I'm 37. I cannot imagine when I talk to a 21-year-old girl for 5 seconds. I'm just like, oh my god. There is such a world between us in terms of like how you want to live your life and how I want to live my life. Yeah. Mostly that you want to leave the house and I absolutely do not.
Yes, that's the worst. She used to call me a boring grandma.
Right, that was the conflict?
Yeah, well, now she's back home with mommy, so now she could do whatever she wants. She's back in New York.
I gotta ask, how did you get this? It looks like you had stitches on your forehead.
She hit me with a bottle before we broke up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing it broke.
No, I didn't break.
Oh, and it still split you open that good?
Yeah, because it was a Henny bottle.
Wow. I thought my girl was gonna hit me with a Henny bottle one time, and it was pretty worrisome. Damn. So that relationship got real as fuck, huh?
I guess, but like I said, she's back in the Bronx. She's back doing bad. She's back with mommy, so fuck her.
Is it Young M.A.?
Well, that would be a disrespect because Young M.A.
I was just kidding. You said the Bronx thing. I kind of had to.
Young M.A. is she's
bad.
doing something with her life.
Right.
And this other bitch is not. She's just going to strip clubs, spending my money, and living with mommy now. So go suck your mom's titties.
You seem very like you're dealing with this very well.
Yeah.
No, you actually seem like you're full of anger and vigor towards this person. I feel bad for them that they're going to see this.
Oh, actually, I came here because of her.
Why?
She loves your fucking show.
Does she really?
She loves your fucking show. I found out about you through her.
Seriously?
She would smoke weed and play you on the big screen on YouTube.
Typical girl in the Bronx. Sit around
every
smoking
day.
a Swisher watching Adam 22. Oh, I love that idea.
Every day I'd just be on the bed and she'll be smoking, sitting down in the chair. Just
I
watching you.
apologize for anything bad I said about you. I love you. You sound amazing. When I die, I want every project on earth to just blast my interviews out the windows, like mad different interviews at the same time. So like it'll just be my voice. But just let that shit ring. Every lowrider, circle the block and just bump random no jumper podcasts. I want everybody in the neighborhood to be like, what? Who the hell is that guy? Yeah, sorry, that was just an aside. And
Nah, as soon as we broke up, I was like, oh yeah, watch, I'm gonna go on the Adam show now.
sick. Where do you see yourself going from here in terms of life? Like, do you have? I feel like your story, and maybe this podcast could be like the first step. But like when you say, "Oh, Vice almost did a documentary about me," and then got shut down for whatever reason. I think your life story, whether it's a book, whether it's a documentary, it just needs to be encapsulated in a way that could kind of tell this story, because I think it's a pretty important story.
Yeah. I don't think people take it serious no more, because now they got like that dumb hoe Alexis guy talking about she was sex trafficked and doing weird shit. So no one takes it serious. Like me, when I actually tried to do that with Q had a what's that called when you, it's not a shelter, it's
Like a battered woman's shelter?
no, it's like an organization for girls who are victimized by pimps.
Okay.
So we started that. I still have the documents in the email. We started that. We was going to do a bunch of stuff, and I actually took it serious because I actually want to help.
Right.
And all these other bitches should be like, oh, yeah, I had a pimp, but they're still doing the same shit and glamorizing, and they just want attention. So I don't think no one takes it serious no more, so I just, like, let it go.
It is. That's the weird thing about it, is that, like, I feel like when you came out, you were treated like, oh, that's a hooker. Like, that's a girl who got pimped and was a prostitute, whatever. And now it's like she was trafficked.
Yeah.
She was sex trafficked. And, like, people just understand that that's fucked up in a way that nobody was talking about back then, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I know a rapper who was a pimp or whatever, and he did an interview with some publication, and they fucking framed him like he was a sex trafficker on some crazy shit. And I love that. I did an interview with him, and he's like, bro, like, just don't talk to me about the pimping shit. Like, I can't talk about it. I
love that. I think more people should do that. If a pimp comes in the interview, and I think they should let him know, hey, you know, that first of all, that's not legal, and you're sex trafficking, and you get 10 years per girl who's over 18, and then you get 20 years if she's under 18. Don't forget that what you're doing isn't illegal.
I was just interviewing this dude, Cali Muscle, who's like, 45 or some shit from Oakland, and he said he got a whole shitload of people that he grew up with doing life for prostituting. That's crazy.
Yeah, one of my pimps is doing, I think he got 80 years now or something. He got 80 years. Not because of me, so another girl snitched on him.
Really?
And they built the whole case. And now I think they gave him 80 years. Some weird stuff.
Let me ask you this. How do you think that society or government should treat prostitution? Because to me, it's something where, you know, if a woman wants to sell herself, I think she should have the right to do so. And I don't think that like criminalizing the process makes any sense. But I mean, look at all the things that happen surrounding this. You end up with these crazy pimps who are beating the fuck out of the girls. You end up with underage girls doing it. You end up with girls who are basically in sex slavery doing it. When I look at like Amsterdam, they have legalized prostitution. And they have like a system, like a way that this works. And it seems like it's a lot healthier and a lot safer for the women who want to take part in it.
I don't know. I don't like prostitution. I don't like people touching me.
You're leaving that in the past?
No, I'm saying I would never like condone to it. I don't know. I don't like it. I like the money because it pays the bills to survive, but it's not. I don't know.
If you met a chick now and she was, you know, early 20s and she was selling pussy, what kind of advice do you give her? You tell her just stop. Like there's no future in this shit. Or do you, I don't know, how do you talk to them?
I don't know. I mind my business now.
Really? You don't talk to any 20-year-old sex workers?
No, yeah. A lot of them hit me up for like promo. Because they want like shout outs or they want OnlyFans shout outs and stuff. And they'd be like 19.
That's crazy,
like,
right?
Yeah, like little ass girls. And I can't say nothing. I just post them.
I see it on Twitter sometimes. It'll get retweeted onto my feed, but it'll be like, just turned 18. Here's the OnlyFans. Whew. I mean, it's like, it's crazy because they don't even have to walk through the door of a porno company to start shooting. They're just like, nope, let's go.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, actually, Bad Baby is the most famous one of those, but I don't think, I assume that she's not naked on there. I never heard that she was.
I don't know.
Yeah. You fuck with her?
I never met her, so I don't know.
You think she took some of the cat's sex sauce?
No, they be comparing her to everyone.
Yeah.
And, you know, everyone hates her, but y'all made her famous.
And rich, apparently.
Yeah, very rich.
Definitely. Who do you respect from that time period in your life? Like, who do you see as people that kept it real with you and wanted the best for you?
No one?
Nobody.
Well, maybe Q, because he got me out of being deported. You know, he was there with my family. He went to court and testified for me. Made sure my mom had her rent paid. Made sure my son was good. So maybe that's the only person.
Yeah. How do you feel about this sort of like new wave of like girl positive hip hop that's very like, I'm gonna make you buy me a handbag before I fuck you, and I'm gonna fucking make you pay my rent, and this whole like city girls mentality that didn't really exist like 10 years ago?
I don't listen to female music.
Why not?
I don't like girls.
You just don't like hearing them rap?
I don't know. I just don't like girls at all. I just listen to guys.
Really? How do you feel about that mentality, though? You think that's better for girls to kind of have that mentality of
I think if you want to be a fucking prostitute, don't talk about it and actually show it. You're just talking shit about people who actually live it.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like this like promotion or like sexifying of the prostitute lifestyle, which we all actually know is not really a sexy way to make a living, right?
Yeah.
Okay, like what have you been working on? Anything coming up that we should know about? Anything important that's been going on?
No. I just you know, I was with my ex for 3 years. I was in the industry. I wasn't doing nothing. And we just broke up, and I came to Cali, and you're my first interview in 3 years.
Wow. Where are you gonna go from here? Like, do you have plans, ideas?
I don't know if I want to move here or stay in Miami. So I'm just checking things out.
Interesting. How do you want the world to remember you? When's all said and done?
I don't know.
You're not sure? Interesting. Okay. Any shout outs? Anybody want to thank?
No, thank you for allowing me to come to your show in such a short notice. And yeah, I think that's all.
I told Laura, I said, squeeze that interview in. We got to talk to Cat Stacks. We got to make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Cat Stacks, No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. Like, comment, and subscribe. And Friday, nojumper.com if you want to support. And Friday, we'll be listening to your music. So subscribe and show up on stream. Appreciate y'all.